Welcome to the Galvanic Applied Sciences tutorial series. In this video we will show how to set up digital inputs wet and dry. For information on how to physically connect to the analyzer, please check the 903 wiring book, which is found on the CD or in the 903 GUI software under the Help menu. Start the 903 analyzer software. Log on. Press Update and enter the password. The default password is 2222. Go to the Inputs tab. There are 4 dry contact discrete inputs on the 903. The Input Dry tab allows the user to configure these discrete inputs in any manner. These inputs can be configured to trigger a certain type of run or to monitor external pressure or temperature switches. Each discrete input is configured in the same manner. It is important to know that these dry contacts are for devices that are normally part of the analyzer, such as a pressure switch or temperature switch. At the top of each discrete input is a field called Discrete Input Name. The value entered in this field, maximum 6 characters, is displayed on the Status tab. In addition, whenever a discrete input is triggered and the alarm checkbox is checked, its alphanumeric identifier will be displayed on the alarm screen on the analyzer's LCD screen. Ensure the value entered in each name field is understandable. Below the name field are 2 checkboxes. If the Enable checkbox is checked, the discrete input is enabled and monitored. If not, the discrete input is disabled and will not respond to any inputs. If the alarm checkbox is checked, the condition of each discrete input will be logged in the event log. The polarity box contains 2 radio buttons labeled Active On and Active Off. If the Active On radio button is selected, the input will be considered triggered if the contact is closed. If the Active Off is selected, the input will be considered triggered if the contact is opened. The Run Selector box contains 24 checkboxes that allow the user to select what type of gas run should be associated with each discrete input. The Action box contains 6 relay and 8 solenoid checkboxes that allow the user to select what type of action should be associated with each discrete input. Now we will show an example of how to set up Digital Input 1 to initiate Stream 1 calibration and activate Relay 3 at the same time. In this example, we will use Active On polarity. Check Stream 1 cal reading under Run Selector, and under Actions, check Relay number 3. Check Enable. Push the temporary right to Analyzer button and the permanent right to Analyzer button to complete the process. Use the same procedure when configuring the rest of the digital inputs. The configuration for the Wet tab is identical to the one for the Dry tab. There are 4 isolated wet contact discrete inputs on the 903. The voltage input range required for these inputs are 4 to 24 volts DC. The Input Wet tab allows the user to configure these discrete inputs in any manner. These inputs can be configured to trigger a certain type of run or to monitor an external pressure or temperature switches. Each discrete input is configured in the same manner. This concludes the How to Set Up Digital Inputs Wet and Dry tutorial.